Hi, welcome to the kitchen here at Raggedy Hen Farm. And today, I feel like I should whisper. We're going to make something that is terribly, terribly unhealthy, but oh so delicious. And the reason we are making this recipe is our youngest, Terry, and I have 6 kids together combined, and they're all ages 20 to 27. And the youngest one, Morgan, said that she would watch the videos if we were to do one on cheater fudge. Morgan is not much of a cook and is studying to be a firefighter and a paramedic. So I said we will do one on cheater fudge, because cheater fudge is a family favorite, and you will see that it is none of the things we normally do. It is not full of organic, wholesome ingredients. I tried to think of some way to make this healthier, but just so you know, it's delicious. It's just for this time of year. We don't even make it until Thanksgiving, and it goes from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and then we're done. But you will see it's so easy, and people will think that you are the most amazing candy maker. And the reason we call it cheater fudge is it is super, super easy. Okay, all that is in this fudge is a can of frosting. And this is where you can vary it so it can taste different. You can use milk chocolate or dark fudge or whatever you want to use. I think I'm using like a dark fudge frosting. It takes a can of frosting, a package of chocolate chips. These could be semi-sweet chocolate chips. They could be, you could even try peanut butter chocolate chips. I never have, because we tend to like it really chocolatey. So you've got a can of frosting, chocolate chips, and a couple of candy bars, and that is it. So, and you can even make this without ever turning on the stove. You could do it all in the microwave. You start with the chocolate chips. You could put this over a double boiler, and I have done that, had like a pan of boiling water and stirred the chocolate over it. But normally what I do is I just do it in the microwave, and I start at like 1 minute to 30-second intervals, and I turn it on high, let it go. It heats it up. I stir it until it's all melted. So I'm going to do that. It's probably going to take about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do each one. But I'm going to go ahead and melt this chocolate chips, and then I'll come back and show you how to finish it off. Okay, it's taken us about 2 minutes at 30-second intervals to get the chocolate to melt. It's creamy. And now we get to work kind of fast. While this was melting, I chopped up 2 regular-sized candy bars, and you can use ones with nuts in them, like a Snickers bar. I use like a dark Milky Way because there are people who don't really like nuts. So I will indulge them. Okay, so right here, we're just going to dump in this can of fudgy yumminess. We're going to use about half the candy bar in here. It takes a little muscle to stir this because the frosting is kind of thick, and as soon as it starts to get incorporated, it does start to kind of harden. Anybody who has ever made fudge in the traditional way, and I will confess that I have tried doing it like old time, on the stove, cooking with a candy thermometer, and I have never got it to turn out. Now I have done it like the way my mom and my grandmother did with like the marshmallow cream, but for the last 15 or 20 years, this has been our fudge recipe. Unless I tell people, nobody knows that it's made the way it's made. And you know, fudge is full of chocolate and sugar and stuff anyway, so okay. Goes into the dish. This can get a little bit challenging because you're dealing with chocolate. You just have to make up your mind that you just may get a little messy. Which is why I have an apron. Don't worry if you don't get every last bit out of the bowl. There will probably be somebody in your world who would be happy to lick it. Now, the reason I leave a little extra wax paper on this is that I kind of use it to smudge this down in. You can see it's already getting nice and thick. You could totally mix in some chopped nuts or some marshmallows if you wanted. I never have because we just use the candy bars and that's the way everybody likes it. Okay, the rest of this gets sort of sprinkled on the top, pressed in. Just use up every last little bit of crumb. Press it down. It's in there lovely. All right, this is going to go in the refrigerator, and it is going to take about a half hour until it's ready to cut up and eat. You could leave it overnight, maybe put a little saran wrap over it if you don't want the top to get too dry. But at this point, it's pretty much done. So I'll show you how it looks when it's on a plate, and you will see that nobody will know how easy. And that is why we call it cheater fudge. So we'll be back in a minute. All right. Our fudge has chilled, and now we are going to take it out of the pan. You could cut it in the pan, but over the years, I have found this to be the easiest way. Just peel this back. Take a relatively sharp knife. This is pretty rich, so I cut it into pretty small pieces. And I know you can't smell it, but it smells super, super, super chocolatey. I know, those look like little pieces, but it's pretty tasty. So you can see when you get it all arranged on a plate or in a tin, nobody knows that you didn't mix and measure and use your thermometer and drop bits of syrupy stuff into glasses of water and other things that you do when you're making candy. When Morgan came to live with us, Morgan came to our family as a teenager and came into our home around October. And it was her first trip through holidays at our house, and we tend to we do it up a little big. And the first taste of cheater fudge, she was completely hooked. This is for somebody who is still a chocolate milk addict. And the other thing that she was not used to was the fact that when it was gone, we would just make more, because you could see how incredibly simple this is. So she would think that she had finished off a whole tin of it, and the rest of the kids were all out of the house by then, so Morgan kind of got to be spoiled, and she would come back the next day and the tin would be full again, and it was all new to her. So she was like, this is magic, and she ate so much of this fudge, and there has never been a holiday season from Thanksgiving to Christmas that I have made more batches of cheater fudge than I did that first year that Morgan was here, because, oh my gosh, and I probably ate 2 pieces, Terry probably ate 2 pieces, and Morgan consumed her weight in chocolate fudge and had a fabulous Christmas. So you can see how much one of these batches makes, which is quite a bit, and be creative. You could crush up some candy cane and put on it. You could make it with peanut butter chips. You could make it, I have made it with mint chocolate chips before, and it was absolutely delicious. Makes a great gift. My son Stuart, our son Stuart, makes it every year and includes it in his Christmas baskets, and people love it. So this is our secret, totally not good for you, but absolutely amazingly delicious cheater fudge. And you will see the recipe down below just in case you didn't get those 3 ingredients. And let me know what you do with it, or be sure to leave some comments about how you made yours and how delicious it was, and I would love to hear from you. So thanks for stopping by again here in the kitchen at Raggedy Hen Farm. Oh my gosh. First bite of fudge of the season. It's all downhill from here. Alright, we'll see you next time here at the crossroads of urban and farm. Thanks. Bye.